What's up everyone, now back with another video. I'm going to be posting more videos somewhat regularly now because right now I am basically in a holiday until the new semester starts. Now this is brought up to me by my friend known as Alex Star, link in the description below. He found that one of my videos been getting a lot of views lately, and it's this video right here. The gray line represents what I typically get, and the blue line is what this video, which is the Nani Bow Cheese video, is getting. As I'm recording right now, it's reached 412 views, which is insane for me. Unfortunately though, that's the only video that has gotten 3-digit views. Although my third episode of my Terraria series might get that soon. So please support me if you like my content. And now let's start the video. This footage was recorded right after I did my 4th episode in recording, but I didn't have any time to edit it because I was busy with school stuff. So for this video, I decided to go to the corruption and find some of the shadow orbs so I can get the corruption weapons as well as enabling meteors to spawn. I started to leave my house, pass through the snow biome, and then finally I reached the corruption. All of the holes in the corruption was actually just dead ends except for the final one that I found later. So I'm just gonna cut ahead to the hole where there were shadow orbs and actual loot. Finally finding a hole with the shadow orbs, I went down and started to explore it. I started to explore around where there were a lot of demon holders as well as some corrupted pots. As soon as I found the shadow orb, I took out my sticky bombs and immediately bombed it so I can get the loot. This one, I found a musket. After zooming my screen out a little, I found another shadow orb, so I'm gonna bomb it and get the other loot. Knowing my luck, I found the shadow orb light pet. It is the worst drop I could have got because I wanted to get a weapon like a vile thorn or something. After getting assaulted by some eater of souls, I went and found a chest which had nothing except for a mining potion, and if I travel further, I found the dungeon. After going to the dungeon, I figured that I should have gone back because my inventory was full. I started to buy some grenades from the demolitionist because I want to use it against the Eater of Worlds. I saw a person on a wooden platform and then just raining down grenades on the Eater of Worlds and it worked, but I don't know if it's actually a thing anymore. I also went back to the dungeon to try and prepare for Skeletron by blowing up that patch of corruption so I can make space for the arena. But then this happens. I got the Goblin Army, which I have no idea if I can actually beat. There will be a lot of death, but as long as I'm at my house at the arena shooting them with my frostburn arrows, I should be fine. After teleporting home, I found a lot of goblins, and if it weren't for my arena, this would have gone on for much longer. In retrospect, this whole fight actually took me like 10 minutes, so it wasn't actually that bad. At the time of recording, I was actually at a mall, but I mentioned this in the last video. So I'm basically walking around and I'm playing a game, and then when my family has to ask me or do anything, I have to pause the game momentarily so I can actually answer them. There were a few times where I came close to death, but I finally cleared out enough goblins so I can get to the second layer of the arena so I can just rain down arrows on them. Most of the goblins will spawn on the ground area, but momentarily there will be some goblins that spawn next to me in my arena. Which honestly wasn't that much of a deal, but it was just annoying that I have to target them instead of a lot of goblins below me. Skipping ahead a lot, I finally defeated the Goblin Army. It was basically just what happened. I just rained down arrows and I momentarily shoot the goblins that were near me, and then afterwards, eventually, I won the Goblin Army. Now all I have to do is just to clean up the rest of the goblins and I'll finally have peace. After defeating the Goblin Army, I actually got the harpoon and a lot of spiky balls, so I can use it against the Eater of Worlds. I don't know why, but I had the urge to just go down and dig the elevator because I know it's gonna be a hassle later. I also could start finding the bound Goblin Tinkerer so I can actually modify my items and get better modifiers, so it's just a little easier for me to fight the bosses. I was digging the elevator when I landed in a lava lake. I quickly jumped out of it and then let the lava out. I used the sticky bombs to blow a hole so the lava can flow out of the way of the elevator. I went down just to dig a hole so I can leak it off, but then I found the Goblin Tinkerer. I bought the rocket boots as well as the Tinkerer's workshop. This was very hazardous with a lot of lava and then the Goblin Tinkerer there. I didn't really care though because it honestly just makes the process much easier for me. That he dies and he can just spawn back in the overworld. I got caught in the lava, but at least I didn't die. Then suddenly a fairy went up to me and pointed me downwards, but there was the lava in the way, so I just had to wait. The lava eventually stopped so I can follow the fairy. The lava that flowed down actually made a bigger lake under me, and that was actually one of the scarier things that I've seen and done in Terraria. But I wanted to loot that the fairy was showing me, so I just pressed on, making dirt bridge anyway. The loot was just a life crystal, but I can make hard lanterns and make multiple arenas, so I guess it's not all that bad. I teleported back to the surface and used the Tinker's workshop. I didn't know what I could make, so I took every accessory that I had in my chest and started to see if I can combine anything. I ended up making the tiger climbing gear as well as the specter boots. I gathered some wood from my tree area and I started to expand the house area a little bit. Of course, this is just temporary. This is only for NPCs that just moved in, so I can transport them to other houses where they will live here in the meantime. The Goblin Tinkerer and the Arms Dealer moved in, and since the Arms Dealer likes the desert and will give me discounts, I thought that I should just build the desert town there right away. I also bought the mini sharks and some bullets. I started to flatten the area so I can build the houses, and now I can start. I didn't really know what I wanted to make the houses in, but I just ultimately decided on making a sandcastle area with 2 sandcastles for each NPC that is gonna live here. And this platform you're seeing me build right now and getting interrupted by the vulture is going to be where I'm gonna put the desert pylon. This was the first design that came to mind. I think that it looks good, so I put in the background walls and started to furnish it. Then I built another sandcastle with the same design. The difference being that the house is 2 blocks wider because I want to put chests inside it in case my inventory is full and I want to buy something. And I forget how good the mini shark is compared to the other ranged items because the bow is harder to aim as well as it has a lot of range, and it's just satisfying to see all of those bullets fire really fast. And finally, after furnishing the houses as well as defending myself from the zombies, I moved in the arms dealer and the nurse. I didn't have enough money, so I decided to sell my ice blade because I have 2 more and the yellow dye so I can get the desert pylon. And now to place it down. Lighting up the area a little bit more. And that is the end of the episode. This one's a little bit longer because I had more things done. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and see you in the next video.